Hi guys, it's Nikki. Hello, welcome back to a new video. Welcome to 2021. Are we ready? Holy crap, when I say that this year in 2020 has probably been the most craziest year of my life. I know it's been the most craziest year of a lot of people's lives. It just has been, to sum it up, it's been a really life-changing, awful, hard, stressful year. Hopefully you guys like this new location background. I'm sitting in my living room. I just thought it would be fun to film sit down videos with this background. This will kind of be the background that I'll be using. I still have my Christmas stuff up, but that will be coming down in a couple weeks, unfortunately. So this is the background that I'm going to be using from now on if I want to do sit down videos. Just super chill, super casual in my living room. In today's video, I want to go over my 2020 reflection, basically all the way from January till December, and go through everything that I have experienced in 2020. It has been a lot, to say the least. 2020, I think we all went into it with the mindset like, this is our year, we got this, fam, we're doing great. Didn't really work out that way. 2020, I think, took the biggest 180 turn that we have ever seen. I don't think anyone was expecting for anything like that to even happen. For me, I have learned a lot of stuff in 2020. I've also feel like I have grown as a person from this event. I also too, I feel like I have really seen people's true colors, unfortunately, when it came to this year. You know, in reality and also online, you know, I've seen YouTubers and social media personnel that I've supported for years and I have been subscribed to for years really show who they are as a person, and made me really sit down and be like, wow, I don't want to support this person. I don't want to be affiliated with this person. This person, just has such a negative approach when it comes to life and comes to worldwide situations. And it's a lot of these people have made what's been going on this year so political, and I just have to say, medical and science should not be associated with politics. I've said this time and time again, so for anyone who's new or for anyone who's forgotten, I'm a healthcare worker. I am a CNA. I work at one of the top hospitals in Nebraska, and I also work in the ER as of this month, or technically last month in December. I officially work in the ER now. So I have seen hand in hand what COVID has done to people, and just in awful shape that they can be. You know, when people come in, they're in oxygen stats in the 60s, and they're on oxygen of 12 to get better. It's just insane to me that this is the situation that we're in. But for any of you guys that have seen any of my reflection videos, you would know that I go by month and I kind of talk about the positives as well as the negatives. So if you guys want to see what my year was like, and stay tuned for the end for my New Year's resolution, then let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so starting off with January, I'm gonna be honest with you, some months I didn't really do a lot, obviously, but let's start off with January. So January, I feel like we all kind of went into 2020, especially me, this is my year. I started focusing a lot on my health in January and my fitness journey. I was probably in one of the best shapes last year going into 2020 that I was in. My my clothes fit a lot better, and I was really feeling myself. I was starting to get abs, believe it or not. I was starting to get abs a little bit. I had muscle definement in my biceps, in my back. You could really you could really see my shoulders popping. Like, I was starting to look really good, and I was very proud of that. And going into 2020, I knew that I really wanted to focus on eating healthy, working out, and really taking that time, like that an hour to 2 hours a day, taking that time to just have me time, focus on myself, go to the gym, do my workout, just kind of chill, you know. That was my me time, and I was doing really, really good at that. So January, I definitely came in with a positive approach. I was doing really good on the unit that I was working in at the hospital, and you know, we were thriving, we were doing really good. February came around, not much went on, just working, and I had Valentine's Day with my boyfriend Jason. It actually was our first Valentine's Day as a couple, but technically it was our second Valentine's Day that we had spent together, because we were dating and talking when we were on Valentine's Day of 2019. So we actually were not officially a couple, but we still did Valentine's Day together since we were dating. But yeah, so we celebrated like our first Valentine's Day as a couple. We had a movie night, and then we just went out with some friends and hung out, and it was a fun night. It was really fun, and you know, that was kind of before all hell broke loose, man. So February, you know, we were thriving, we were doing great and everything. I think everyone thought like, okay, like here we go, we're getting into it, it's gonna be great. You know, I started meeting a lot of new friends, so it just was like a really good month. Let's talk about March. So March 1st is my birthday. I'm a Pisces, hello, but I turned 21 in 2020, and it's crazy to think that in 2 months I'm gonna be 22, but I turned 21 in 2020, and you know, I had my birthday, my 21st birthday. I was thriving, it was great. I had all my closest friends, my boyfriend's closest friends were there, my family was there. We basically celebrated like the weekend, and then my birthday was on a Sunday, so we pretty much celebrated that weekend, and then we celebrated on Sunday, and then we took the week off and celebrated again that next weekend. So I had like a 2-week-long birthday pretty much. But yeah, I turned 21, and that was so exciting. And one of my good friends who actually still lived in Nebraska, she had moved out of state with her partner. They got married, so that was super exciting. That didn't happen that month, like that happened later, but she still lived in town, so she took me to a really fun country bar like the week after I turned 21. And you know, we got to go to a country bar and stuff, and I learned how to line dance for the first time, so it was great. I had like 2 good weekends of officially celebrating my birthday, and then quarantine hit that very like Monday after I was able to go out for my birthday. That's when COVID started arriving in our area. Might I add, my hospital had actually taken on the COVID patients that were on the cruise ship. They had actually brought them to our hospital, and obviously like quarantined them there. They were in our bio containment. Some of them had them, and then the ones that didn't have corona but were exposed were quarantined and everything. So my hospital was the one that really took that on. It was the first that we really heard of the virus. Like everyone was just kind of like, what the hell is happening? Like it's like Ebola. Like I think that was like everyone's mindset. But I mean, we honestly, as Nebraska, I think that we all thought like, oh, we're good, we're fine. They're just, you know, we're not gonna get it. It won't be bad here. And I kind of think that that's what all the states thought, like, oh well, it's overseas. We're Gucci fam. Everything will be good. Not quite, because legit that like week after my birthday and everything, shit started hitting the fan. We had our first COVID case, and unfortunately they were at a very big event for a school, and so a lot of people were exposed. That person actually got very, very, very sick. Almost died, didn't die, but they were put on a ventilator. They actually got very, very sick. And there were quite a few other cases that started to happen. And something I want to say, like, going into it, it was very, very, very new to us. Like, the fact that we were in the start of a pandemic, like, I just have to say, like, we were not prepared for this. Hospitals weren't prepared for this. We quickly started running out of supplies. We very quickly were like, oh my God, what the hell did we do? Like, this is crazy. I've never been in this type of situation. So needless to say, nobody was prepared for this. No one expected this to happen so quick and so sudden. You know, we had people that were obviously helping the patients that we brought from the cruise ship over, but now we're all like, holy crap, this is happening in our own state, and like, it's gonna be crazy. So needless to say, March was a very insane, scary, just crazy month. The fact that literally at the beginning of March, we were thriving, and then literally 2 weeks into March, all hell broke loose. COVID was here. People were quickly getting sick. People were quickly being admitted to the hospital for it. We didn't even know anything. Really, we didn't know a lot about it. So it's like, for PPE, we're all like, holy crap, what the heck do we do? You know, PPE, we were so just like we had no idea what to do. And it was scary. It was a very scary situation. No one knew like what the hell was going on. And it was a trial and error. Like, healthcare workers, we had no idea how to treat it at that time. Like, there was still so much developing information that everyone was just in the dark, and we had no idea what to do at all. Once April kind of rolled around, obviously at the end of March and then into April, everything shut down. Like, literally, we didn't even make it through March yet, and everything completely shut down. All businesses practically closed, you know, and and I'm a healthcare worker, so obviously, like, I was very fortunate to keep working. My mom works at a school, and she's very lucky that they ended up getting paid through the end of the year. But like, my mom's sat at home for months. My mom and my stepdad did a ton of home projects because my stepdad was working from home. And then my mom couldn't go do anything. So they started doing a lot of home renovations on their house, and they did a lot of home projects. I honestly should have vlogged it because I helped with a lot of it too. And it was a lot of fun, actually, for us to kind of like, you know, redo stuff in their house, because they had just bought a house. Like, they downsized and bought a new house at the end of 2019 just because all of us kids moved out. We did not need a 3-story house with a loft. Like, it was way too much. So they downsized to just a beautiful ranch, you know, something that it's perfect for just them, but also perfect for if everyone wanted to come over and hang out. It's spacious, but you don't have all the levels. April, again, I think we were just in such an unknown time. Also, too, at that time, masks mandates, at least where I live, was not put into place yet. You were not required to wear a mask anywhere. Like, in the grocery stores, like, mask mandates weren't a freaking thing at all, and they actually did not happen here. I want to say until like middle April, end of April was when grocery stores started saying like you have to wear a mask and everything. And I think that's kind of when everything started, and then cases started getting worse here very, very quickly, because I think a lot of people I think so many people were under the impression that, oh, we'll be fine. It's whatever. It's just like the flu. And I think, you know, people quickly realize, like, holy crap, this is not like the flu. This is spreading. Like, this is happening. So I definitely think that was the hardest thing, was just adjusting from normal life to crazy pandemic life. Yeah, in April, you know, you were dealing with so many COVID stuff. I had to work overtime at work some weeks, and then some weeks I had to get called off of work. because our patient load was so low that we did not need a full staff. So I was working overtime some weeks, and some weeks I was not even working a full week. I literally would probably go to work like 2 days and that would be it. So it was just very trial and error, and it was just a very weird time. And then obviously masks were put into place and everything. So it's just been like, it just was an insane time. We also had a ton of like mask protests and your anti-maskers, and that it was all against like their Second Amendment and all this and that. Like there's no political thing about this virus. There's no political thing. There's science and there's medical proven information that masks help the spread of a virus. It also helps when you're sick to not get others sick, because then you can't transfer your droplets out to the world. And always wash your hands and use hand sanitizer. That's not political. That's science. All right, let's get into May. So this was summertime, beginning of summer. And, you know, it was a very weird transition time because obviously things were like still closed. You know, they were closed all through April. They didn't even open till like the middle end of May. Schools were closed, graduations were canceled. You know, people didn't get to experience like prom and like end of the year celebrations for school. Like it was awful. You know, there were so many seniors out there that didn't get to finish out their senior year, but you also got to think about the juniors out there too. Like they don't get the rest of their junior year. The start of their senior year was poop. Like it was just really bad, and I felt bad for a lot of people. Also, two people that were graduating college in May didn't get to have a proper college graduation, and I just think it kind of ruined a lot of people's like expectations and excitement for this year. So it was just unfortunately really sad. My family from Arizona was supposed to come in town in May, which obviously that didn't end up happening due to the fact that, you know, it didn't end up happening due to the fact of COVID, and at that time it started getting really bad. We also started to learn a lot more information about COVID in May and through the summertime, so it just was really bad. Also too, in May, I want to kind of point out, I didn't work out for 2 months. I tried doing home workouts. The gyms opened up like, I want to say like, I think it was like mid-May or June is when they opened up here. I didn't work out. I legit did not work out. My apartment gym closed and my gym here closed. I was doing home workouts and it was crap to say the least, because I did not enjoy home workouts. I was going outside for a lot of walks, a lot of, you know, adventures, but it just wasn't the same because I love weightlifting and it wasn't doing it for me. I also developed a really unhealthy relationship with food around that time because the grocery stores were so limited on certain things that you could kind of get what you get and you couldn't throw a fit type of thing. You could either get it so you at least had it, or you could just not get it and then you'd be SOL for months. So, and we also ran out of a ton of toilet paper, which I know the world did too. And now that's starting to happen again, so we have a limit. We've always had a limit, but now it's an even stricter limit on all toilet paper and cleaning supplies. And just people, man, they're crazy. They're crazy when it comes to toilet paper. Another thing I want to point out, we're going to backtrack. In March, I was supposed to go to the Billie Eilish concert. That didn't happen. The whole tour got canceled, actually. And I got a refund for my tickets. And it made me really sad because me and my best friend Claudia turned 21 2 weeks apart. Like, she turns 21 after me. So it was supposed to be the week after her birthday. We were supposed to go to Billie Eilish. And that was our 21st birthday presents, like, to ourselves for each other. Like, we both bought the tickets on the same day and everything. But that was like, hey, we're going to the concert together. And that was how we were supposed to celebrate our birthdays together. Didn't work out. Let's get into June. So, again, really not much went on. My boyfriend actually was unemployed technically from like March all the way up until like June, just because COVID shut down where he worked. He couldn't really work, so he was getting unemployment, and luckily he was able to get a new job. We started spending a lot of time at the lake. I think we would start going to the lake like 3 to 4 times a week. Like, we were going to the lake a lot, but that was like the only thing to do. Like, you could distance out, you could just go with your little bubble of friends and call it Gucci. Like, that's all we could really do. So we started going to the lake a lot and just kind of enjoying our time at the lake and just praying for the best of the situation. So that's pretty much how we got through the summer, was just going to the lake a lot. And you know, we really didn't get to see a lot of our friends. We kind of stayed with our tight-knit circle, but we didn't really expand that to anything else because obviously we didn't want to hang out with people that we weren't really hanging out with to begin with, because we obviously didn't want to like bring people in that we're not aware of where they've been and everything. So yeah, so it's just been really, really crazy kind of adjusting with that. Another thing I forgot to mention, backtracking again, in March, my boyfriend and I also celebrated our 1-year anniversary. Getting back to June. So again, really did not do much at all. Didn't really do much. All right, so let's get into July. So in July, we had the 4th of July, which we spent at, you guessed it, the lake. Usually on the 4th of July, we just kind of get friends together and we do like big parties, light up fireworks, you know, grill out, have a good time. Obviously that didn't happen this year. Every year my uncle has a really big 4th of July party and he has like 40 to 50 people there. It's huge. You know, there's food, there's fireworks, like there's tons of good stuff. And unfortunately this year, due to COVID, we weren't able to experience that. So Jason and I, we lit off fireworks at the lake. It was very small. We were only with like 2 other friends, but it was nice because we were able to enjoy it and we were able to at least have the holiday. I actually had to work 6 days in a row the week of 4th of July, and I worked the 4th of July. So as you can imagine, I was a very tired cookie. All right, so also too, my boyfriend's birthday was in July, which we really did not do much for. I also did take a road trip. When did we take that actually? I think we took that at the end of June. We went to Kansas City for 4 days. End of June, very beginning of July. We went to Kansas City for 4 days and we spent time with his brother down there. We got to do some fun stuff down there. So that was fun to kind of get away. We really didn't do a whole lot just because of pandemic, things being closed and everything. But very happy that we got to go down there for 4 days and kind of escape Nebraska for a few days and get to spend time with his brother. Sorry, that was just a fly. I literally just saw it fly through my ring light. So let's get into August. So in August, I started respiratory therapy school. That was very, very exciting. I was very excited about that. You know, starting a new medical program in a pandemic is not ideal. It's not fun, and I definitely don't recommend it. It just was something, to put it lightly. It was something. And it was awful. And actually in August, unfortunately, I had lost a close friend of mine that I've known for years. And I'm not really gonna get like too much into it, but I'd lost a close friend of mine. It was very, very difficult on me. So it kind of started off my new adventure not well. Now, once we got into September, at that point, kind of just going through the motions, work and school and repeat, and that's pretty much just what I did all through September. Really nothing fancy. In September, I started my seasonal job, which was I work at a haunted house seasonally. We started that at the end of December. That was fun. It definitely was something that was very different because we had to socially distance out a lot of the parts. A lot of the parts had to wear masks. So it definitely was very, very different than years past and what we were used to doing. October. So October we had Halloween. Really didn't do much for Halloween. We just had a small Halloween party at one of our friends, and it was just with our friend circle that we've been hanging out with, so we really didn't do anything big at all. Also too, I worked the haunted house a lot in October. That was fun. I was going to school, I was going to work. I worked 2 of my jobs and the haunted house and going to school and trying to maintain somewhat of a social life that I could. So it was a really, really busy month for me in October. Let's get into November. So November, we had Thanksgiving. My stepbrother actually came home in November. He got to come home for Thanksgiving. He's in the Navy, so we haven't seen him for over a year. And so now he's home. Well, not anymore, but he was home. He was home for Thanksgiving, so we got to see him. So that was really, really, really nice. And I was just very appreciative that we got that time with him. Oh yeah, and also too, at the end of October and beginning of November, I accepted a position with the emergency department. So I had known for a couple months that I was going to be transferring and everything, and it was kind of sad, but I was also very excited for it, and it went by so fast, and look where I am now. I'm in the ER. But it went by so fast, and here we are, and it's just super, super, super exciting. So that kind of was just November too, was getting prepared for that, and just trying to soak up what I could with my unit. I also had like midterms and Thanksgiving break and just a bunch of stuff that happened in like November, and just getting prepared for Christmas. Obviously, I started Christmas shopping, and I started, you know, getting ready for Christmas. Obviously, we had Thanksgiving. That was fun. I actually did work Thanksgiving, so it was kind of weird. I kind of had to like split up my time between all the families, and it just was like, it just felt really rushed. Now let's get into December. So December was a crazy month. You had Christmas, you had Christmas Eve. My dad's birthday was in December, and there was just lots of crazy things that happened in December. Jason and I, we went and looked at a new place that we're hoping we'll be moving into in a few months. So we started shopping for new homes / like townhomes. So that was super exciting. We, you know, tried to have a good Christmas. Unfortunately, I did not get to spend Christmas or New Year's with Jason because his family had to quarantine. So unfortunately, I did not get to spend my favorite holidays with him, but that's okay. Try to make the best of it, even though like it did kind of hurt me and I was upset, but it is what it is, you know, you can't control it. I started in the ER in December. I was on Christmas break. Hello, I just did Vlogmas, so there was just so much stuff that happened in December. Film Vlogmas, we finished Vlogmas. Unfortunately, my uncle, my mom's brother, had passed away in December. I had to go to Tucson for literally a day for the funeral and come back like the morning after. It just was such an insane month, and there was just so much stuff going on to the point where I couldn't even tell you. This was one of the craziest months I think I've ever experienced, and we had Christmas, we just had New Year's, and here we are. We're in 2021. I would definitely say 2020 has taught me a lot of lessons, and just so, you know, there were some good things that came out of 2020, and then there were some really bad things, obviously. But overall, I am kind of thankful for the experiences because I feel like it's really made me grow as a person, and I feel like I can sit here and say that we can survive anything at this point. But it definitely was very difficult on me and my family, and I know a lot of my friends. It's just affected all of us in very, very different ways. Another thing that I want to point out is I feel like this year there's been a lot of people that have been very degrading towards others, as far as like if they're like, oh yeah, I got super, you know, I gained weight in 2020, or I just haven't been myself this year. I feel like there's been a lot of people that I've sat there and been like, well, you chose to do that, or you chose to be that way. You don't know everyone's situation. You don't know what people were going through those months where people legit couldn't work and people barely had money to pay their bills. You know, you have to get food, and it's like you had to get what you got. And a lot of times you couldn't even get a ton of stuff at the grocery store because it was all sold out. So I just think that there were a lot of just negative Nancys mixed in with the bunch, and they think that they can sit there and degrade everyone. I don't think 2020 is a year you can degrade anybody on anything. I think that there's been a lot of like true showmanship of character that has happened in 2020. Sorry, there was a fuzz. I think that there was a true showmanship of character and how people actually acted, and they really showed their true colors, whether it being for the good or whether it being for the bad. But I don't think that we should sit there and be like, well, you chose to do that. Like, we were in a freaking pandemic. People went crazy. Like, you can't sit there and tell someone because they're like, oh, I gained a ton of weight this year, I need to get back into the swing of things. You know, you can't sit there and be like, you chose to do that. We didn't have the equipment. We could get what we get in the grocery store. Like, that's not their fault that they couldn't buy everything they needed to be healthy. That's not their fault they couldn't work out and go to a gym for months if that's what they're used to. You know, and a lot of people couldn't even go back to the gym when they started because they were still on unemployment. They couldn't afford it. So I just think it's very mean that people have legit sat there and degraded others because they weren't able to live a somewhat normal lifestyle like some people have. So New Year's resolutions. So definitely this year, now that we've been in these conditions for a while, I think we've kind of gotten an idea of how to live in them. I definitely want to really take time to focus on myself, focus on my workouts, focus on my health, my eating habits. I definitely want to take time to focus on me. I want to be more fashionable in 2020, which sounds like a silly resolution, but I do. I want to be more fashionable. I want to stick with the trends, be more fashion forward. Obviously, want to focus a lot more on YouTube in 2020. I feel it, not in 2020, holy crap, we're in 2021. I obviously want to focus more on YouTube and everything because I love YouTube, and I think I kind of have an idea of the content that I want to go down and the road I want to go down, so I'm super excited about it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it was kind of a rant, but hey, this is the first video of 2021. Isn't it crazy? Isn't it insane? We're here. And let's just pray that this year is so much better than last year. But yeah, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy New Year. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. If you haven't seen my Vlogmas series, just go ahead and click on my channel, go to my videos, and they're all right there. I'm thinking about making a Vlogmas playlist, so you guys can definitely check that out as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Stay happy, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you guys in my next one. Yee! Can't believe it's 2021 already. Bye, guys.